question I get asked a lot of the time is, should I set up my company as a sole trader or as a limited company? And that really depends on what it is you're going to do. So if you were going to enter into significant contracts like a lease commitment for 5 years, then perhaps using a limited company would give you a certain amount of protection, particularly if you've been established in the past. It would mean that the contract would be held within the limited company, which is actually classed in law as a separate legal entity to you as a private individual. Thus, if there were ever any problems with the lease, for example, you couldn't afford to pay, the recourse would be towards the company, and that would end there. They couldn't then come after you personally. Having said that, with a lot of new businesses, they will expect a personal guarantee anyway. But limited companies do have some benefits over time. However, they come with some increased complexity. For instance, you have to do a company tax return as well as a personal tax return, and you have to do things like a confirmation statement, which is a way of confirming that the directors and shareholders haven't changed and the address is still the same thing. So this is something you do every 1 year, and it costs a little bit, but it's not particularly onerous. Certainly, a good bookkeeper could look after all of that for you. On the sole trader side, it's a lot more straightforward. You don't have the legal separation that you would with a limited company, but you can just start. The money goes into your account, or you can have a separate bank account, and you simply report that on your personal tax return as earnings from self-employment. It's a lot more straightforward. In both cases, you do need to maintain quality and accurate accounts, because the last thing you want is to get into hot water. So, in the end, it's a case of assessing what is right for me and what does my customer expect from me. For example, because I work with businesses rather than the public, and because a lot of my clients are larger companies, they expect me to be limited and they expect me to be VAT registered because it looks more secure perhaps to them. But for the general public in the main, they would never even notice. So being a sole trader might be the way to go if you're starting out as a small consumer-facing business, and over time, it may be that you choose to turn limited, and if you become successful, you have to turn VAT registered. So it's up to you at the end of the day.